Hello. I want to take a minute to talk about some functionality added to our June 2026 release, which is version 4.55. Specifically, this one goes to some of our quality users. In quality sample entry, we added something around the batch corrective actions. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it gives the quality person the ability to as they record their tests, also prescribe some action that needs to be taken on a batch ticket. So in this case, I've got a certain batch ticket, and in an operation, I've got certain tests that I perform. And I'd record my results here in this column. So while performing these tests, I might identify that there needs to be some corrective action, either to be processed longer or differently, or maybe to add an ingredient to get to some desired result. That area is down here in corrective actions, batch corrective actions. It's been here for a very long time. What we're really talking about is when you add a record, what defaults here under the actual corrective action, add an ingredient versus an instruction, as well as what defaults under the corrective state. In other words, do you want me, like if I take an ingredient, do you want me just add it to the sample? In other words, consume it from inventory, but don't add it to the yield of a batch. Or do you want me to go ahead and consume it from inventory and add it to the yield of the batch? And when I demo, it's typically pulling an ingredient and adding to a batch. And so it would look something like this, DCRMO2. It's an item I like to pick on a lot. And we'll just say 11 pounds or whatever with some notes. So what we did, what I just showed you has been around for a very long time. What we've done, though, is defined what is the default position of the corrective action and the corrective state. And that's actually done now through the company setup. So back to the main menu, under setup, company, and company, you'll find multiple sections here, and one of them is for quality. In the quality drop-down section, you're going to see two new sections here. And what this does is it allows you to default, whether it's add an ingredient or add an instruction. Most mine are typically add an ingredient. Or do you want it to add to a sample or add to a batch? I'm going to go ahead and say add to the batch. And when I do that, I'm just going to reopen my quality sample entry. And we'll go and pick up a batch. Actually, yeah, go ahead and pick up a batch. Doesn't really matter which batch I'm going to pick up. And I'll pick up an operation, add my corrective action. And when I add my corrective action, you'll see my defaults have come here for add an ingredient and added to a batch. So this is an example of a client coming to us and saying, hey, this is adding me some extra keystrokes. Is there any way that we can help eliminate that or start reducing some of that? That's a great example of feedback coming directly to us and us getting something directly into the product. So we hope this helps. Feel free to give us any other suggestions that might help you out, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks a lot and have a great day.